Rico Hoey, welcome to the Tourbound podcast. This is one of my favourites. I've been looking forward to interviewing you, so welcome in.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, this is awesome.
I've been following you and I was like, this guy's going to be great for this podcast. He's going to be entertaining and you're certainly one of the most emotional guys on the Korn Ferry Tour, and as you smile, where did all that emotion come from, especially with your first win in Knoxville?
It was funny, kind of backstory, all my buddies would always joke around, friends and family say man, if you win, you're gonna cry, and I'm like, nah, I'm not, and sure enough, I did, and I think it's just all from the hard work and, all of them pushing me through, friends, family, girlfriend, everyone just really believing in me, and I'm just so happy I did it, and I was just overwhelmed, So.
Do you cry during movies, music, love stories? Are you emotional all the time?
I can't go wrong with a good love story and whatnot. I love those kind of stuff, but no, I don't cry in those and whatnot. I guess in something that I'm passionate about, like golf and whatnot, and other things, I guess, it'll come out, I guess. So
I don't know what it is. I cry on planes. It's like Armageddon, 300, Last Samurai.
Yeah,
I've cried to all those movies, but it's just something about altitude.
Great movies.
Yeah,
great movies.
So you give you a little leeway on that. But are you the emotional one in your family?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. All of us I have two older sisters. So, maybe they softened me up a little bit, but most of the time I feel like they toughened me up too. They're pretty tough girls. So maybe I just kept it inside me. I didn't want to show my my other side in front of them before they made fun of me. So.
Hitting you with a lot of emotional questions. So look, a lot of golfers are emotional when they win. So
yeah.
it's okay. But tell us a little bit about your family and your heritage. You were born in the Philippines. Give us kind of some insight to the Filipino culture and your family.
Yeah, so my parents are from the Philippines and whatnot, and my grandfather's actually Irish, so he ended up in the Philippines, and that's how my dad was there, and then my mom's family's from there too. And,
right.
It's just we're brought up in an Asian culture where we're really close knit. Everyone supports one another, and I feel like my family has been my biggest supporters throughout my whole entire career. So we grew up playing golf, and I guess golf runs in the family, and they're awesome. Nothing too crazy about us. We're just pretty chill. Just like to laugh and have a good time.
You said you came from a golfing family. You grew up predominantly playing on public courses. How'd you get into golf, and where'd you hone your game as a young player?
My grandfather played, and my dad at the time when he was growing up, he didn't really think golf was cool, I guess. So later on, he kind of picked it up, and he was like, man, this is kind of fun. So he showed my two older sisters, and they got into it. And, I was just, maybe 3 or 4 at the time. And I just kind of followed them around and just got addicted to it. Anything to do from playing or hitting golf balls or whatnot, it was just easy for us to go out there after school and not to get in trouble or anything. And
right.
We did that. And we grew up playing this course called Goose Creek. And it's been a home course of mine for a very long time, and it's kind of nice to say they treat me like family out there too. Right. So it's when I go back home and get to see them, it's always fun. I love it.
Was that around the time you started kind of wearing your signature earrings and personalized belt buckle?
Oh, the buckle!
The Rico buckle.
Oh my God! Well, the earrings came first. Yeah, I remember I was in 2nd grade and I was joking around with my mom, and I'm like, hey, what if I got earrings? And she's like, she kind of sat there and she's like, yeah, you know what, let's do it. I'm like, oh boy, what did I get myself into? I remember going to this this shop called Claire's, it's for little girls. And
yep.
Sure enough, I got that. And then I think, the buckle was around, a couple years later with Anthony Kim and whatnot.
Of course, yeah.
My buddy actually bought the buckle for me. It said Rico, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Looking back now, I'm like, I don't think it was that cool.
I think we all did those things when we were kids. I think it would have looked cool. And as you said, AK was, noticeably known for the famous big belt buckle.
Oh,
and it's it's just blinged out. And But how old were you around at that time when you were like, all right, I'm going to get some earrings? And
God, I think probably, from 10, and then I guess the buckle came maybe when I was 13, 14. So I had both going on at the same time, and I thought I was like the coolest kid.
I'm obsessed. I am obsessed. That sounds like a ton of fun.
And he'll drain it. Rico Hoey gets to 14 under par. He is the solo leader.
Come on, Dad. Pick up. Oh my God! We did it, dude! Oh my God, don't cry too, man. Everyone's crying. Oh! Oh God! Oh, thanks, Mom. Oh gosh. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. All right, I'll call you later, but just wanted to say love you. All right, thanks. All right, hit him straight. All right, bye. You know, we had some tough years, and just happy to get it done. Yeah, sorry.
Your style went with your golf game because you won the Callaway Junior Worlds at Torrey Pines. Give us a little bit of an explanation about how cool that experience was.
Oh, it's so cool. I mean, for me, like I grew up playing just local events and whatnot. So Junior World was kind of like the biggest tournament for me, and seeing a lot of the biggest names like from all over the country, it was awesome. And like reading those names, playing at Torrey Pines, like Jason Day and all the you know whoever won, Tiger Woods. It was like, wow, this is a big event. And you know, when I won at the time, I beat Bo Hosser, and he was like a great junior golfer, and it was someone that, you know, I played a lot against and always looked up to. So it was kind of nice to, you know, play well, and you know, I just played well that day, luckily, and yeah, it was awesome.
Well, skill. It's not all luck. It's skill. But you know, you beat Aaron Wise too.
Yeah, Aaron too. Yeah,
PGA Tour winner.
Yeah. He was, you know, he was a great buddy of mine too and whatnot. So it was a great pairing, and you know, I felt like we're all firing at all cylinders, and it was just fun. It was a fun day of golf. I felt like all of us wanted to beat each other up, but at the same time, we were encouraging one another. So.
You did beat Aaron Wise, but he got his revenge a little later on when you were at USC, and he got you by a couple shots at the 2016 NCAA Championships.
Yeah.
But you did beat John Rahm in that NCAA Championship. So we're throwing a bunch of names out here, and it's you're competing at the highest level. Anyone that could beat Rahm in college was incredible, like, because he just went on an absolute tear.
Yeah.
So, you know, tell us a little bit about that week at the NCAA Championships with that star-studded field.
Eugene Country Club, it was a great course. The rough was thick. It was tight. You know, I mean, greens were super firm and fast, nothing that I really played on before. And, yeah, it was just a lot of fun. It was just a course where, you know, if you shot even or one under, you're going to be up on the leaderboard. And I gave it a run the final round, and, yeah, Aaron got me. But it was just so cool to be in the hunt and, you know, be in that, you know, scenario of like, hey, I have a chance to win individually and get my team into match play and this and that. And, yeah, it was cool, you know, having John out there too. I think that might have been his last year or something. Yep. So, yeah, it was great. It was fun.
Rahm was predicted to be one of the biggest prodigies to come out of college golf back then. And
oh yeah. I mean, like playing with him, I remember like playing other events with him.
Yeah.
We all knew he was going to be great, and you know, I was just lucky to be around him and, you know, watch him, you know, up close in hand and whatnot, and ask him questions. It was just, yeah, I always knew he was going to be great.
And Colin Morikawa was also at Cal.
Yep.
How was the Pac-12 so absolutely loaded at that time? Well, just all the names.
I don't know. You know? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're bringing up all these names. It is kind of wild. Now it's coming back. I remember like the number one amateurs were all from the Pac-12, and you know, I just remember being there. I'm like, man, I'm just, you know, if I just get a top 5, I'm pretty happy. I mean, all these guys are going to be, you know, legends of the, you know, of the game eventually. So I was very fortunate to be at a time in a conference where, you know, a lot of great players came out of, and I think that's why I'm out here, and they pushed me, and I hope I pushed them. So
you also were a teammate with Justin Suh of yours at USC. What's your relationship with Justin today, and do you guys still chat? Do you still, you know, talk, give each other advice?
Yeah, I mean, like, we don't really talk as much as before, but I mean, like, I know I'll be moving out to Vegas, so I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more when I get out there. But he's been a great teammate. I've known him since when we were 15 years old. So, I mean, he's always just been a great competitor. I've always loved being with him. We've roomed a lot in SC. So, yeah, I always knew he was going to be great too. Gosh, like, it was cool to see him, you know, go out last year and do what did what he did. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to follow in his footsteps now. So
Yeah, it's funny. Like we talk about, like just saying, Aaron Wise, PGA Tour winner. You got Bo Hosler is very successful, looking for his first win on the PGA Tour.
Right.
Rahm, self-explanatory. We don't really need to say what he's done. Then you got Justin Suh, wins the Korn Ferry Tour points list last season. It's incredible. It's golf's just in a great spot right now, and you're part of it. Being a Korn Ferry Tour winner yourself. Your college coach, Chris Zambri, he declared you the world's greatest driver.
Oh, no.
Now, how did you get that label from him?
I don't know. I just remember one day where I practiced and he kept saying WGD, and I'm looking around. I'm like, who's WGD? And he's like, oh, world's greatest driver. I'm like, all right. Maybe I was just stupid enough to pull out driver and whatnot and just bang it everywhere, I guess. But yeah, that's what he used to call me. Everyone used to call me that, I guess.
I can confirm that statement's pretty accurate, considering the drivers off the deck I saw you hit yesterday. We're here with Rico Hoey, a certified DOD king. Now, for everyone at home, that's driver off the deck. You love to hit driver off the deck. Tell us a little bit like where that love came from.
I grew up, playing with the older kids, and par fours were pretty long, so stuck on.
How often do you reckon you hit driver off the deck?
If need be, I'll do it, but back home, I'll do it all the time, so.
Well, look, it's not easy for mere mortals like myself to hit drive, but can you take us through a couple drivers off the deck, what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Let's get a couple different flights.
What I try to do first is do a little ball position, keep it up on my left heel. All I have to do right now is just swing as hard as I can.
That is money. Give us a little draw.
Let's see if we can drive. I'm a cutter, but let's see. Drew a little bit, little neck, but that'll run out.
Did exactly what you said. Low draw, beautiful sting it.
Basically, just try to sweep it as hard as I can.
You just hit the hardest shot you can with a driver off the deck, because everyone tends to fade it because you can at least throw the face at it. But all right, how about we hit a fade? How about you hit this little low stinging fade for us here?
I like that.
That is perfection.
Yeah, this is fun.
All right, well let's go 5 from 5. Okay, like let's get a bit of height under this one. All right, this is just getting embarrassing now, how good that is. You go from keeping your card as a rookie to the mini tours, which is a tough place to be. It's expensive, terrible golf courses. Don't worry, I've been there. And then there's loads of talent on the mini tours, so it's like, no excuses. But then you move back in with your parents and get a job at a local golf course. Tell us a bit about that kind of experience. You go from having success, now you're working at a local golf course.
I think it was 2021. I hurt my shoulder after the end of the season, and doctors told me, you can't really play or else you're going to tear it more. So that was during the time of Q school, and it was kind of like in a dark place for me where I'm like, God, I really stunk this year, and I'm not very good at golf, and it was self-explanatory. And so I told my coach at the time at Goose Creek, he's the GM, his name's Ross Fisher, and I was like, hey, I have nothing to do. Can I get a job? And it was kind of at the time where I'm like, maybe I want to get into the golf industry, like the business side. He looked at me and he's like, okay. I'm just going to give you the hardest job and you're going to hate it and you're not going to last a month. And I was like, oh boy, what did I get myself into? I was hoping to, just answer phone calls or, whatever, do beverage card or whatever.
Sell candy bars.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of cruise it on, And so the very next week, he made me set up tee markers at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh.
It was very humbling, and, I feel like I'm a humble guy, but it was very, very humbling because, I never really had a job. It was always golf, school, always keeping busy, but then all of a sudden started doing that, working with the maintenance crew, waking up that early. It was pretty tough, and at the time, too, I started helping out with the junior clinics as well, so I was at the golf course from 4:30 to 7 o'clock at night. And so luckily I did last a month doing the maintenance crew stuff. But after that, I was after that month, I was all right, I'll start playing. I don't really want to do this. So I remember he was like, yeah, I want you to order these things. And there was a headlight And so I remember ordering a headlight and putting it on and clicking it on. I'm like, where's the hole? Like, I played this course like a million times, and I'm like, where do I go? So yeah, it was humbling.
You went from pro golfer to a coal miner trying to see in the dark and put in T markers.
Yeah.
So, okay, well then it sounds like you are a humble guy, but you built that appreciation back up for wanting to play competitive golf. So was that around the time when that mindset kind of flipped on its end and you dusted yourself off and you're like, I got to find my way back to the Korn Ferry Tour?
After that month and whatnot, I was still doing junior clinics throughout the whole year of 2022, but I signed up for mini tour events, and it was just one of those, like, I just wanted to get back into, you know, why I kind of love the game. And, you know, it was all a blur to me. Like, Korn Ferry Tour at the time, or Q School, was kind of just like out of the picture. It was like, you know, if I sign up, great. If not, then, you know, let me just see where my game's at. So my ultimate goal really was just to get better. You know, if I do get better and I see results, maybe I'll try it out. And, you know, it seemed like each month I started to get better and better to a point where I'm like, let's try it for Q School. And yeah, luckily I got through, and here I am now.
What are you most proud of in being in this position today?
I guess the people around me always believed in it, but, you know, for me, it's like, I guess now believing it for myself. And I think that was the hardest thing for me to realize, is like believing my talent and believing in myself. And I still feel like, you know, just the guy who's signing up for the Long Beach Open in California, hoping to make the cut and get a paycheck so I can play for the next event, you know. So I'm very lucky, very fortunate.
Are we going to see any waterworks at the PGA Tour card ceremony at the end of the year?
I can't make any promises, but, you know, I'm sure if I see, you know, my girlfriend and everyone, my parents especially, and, you know, my coaches, I think there might be some. Hopefully the cameras aren't getting up too close. You know, like I said, I'm an ugly crier. I don't want to scare the fans or anyone out there, so we'll see.
Look, it's an absolute pleasure chatting. You're a great golfer. You're an even better guy. And I personally look forward to watching the rest of your career unfold.
Nah, thank you. Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Thanks for coming in, Rico.
Hey, thanks.